May I request Mr. Zahid Iqbal Bhatti to please come and make his presentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable members of the election committee, some former presidents, I can count 2 or 3 here, a lady and gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for your patience and I greatly appreciate it. There's only one lady according to my count. If there's another one, right, let's continue. During these 180 plus seconds that I have at my disposal, I shall attempt to do just some justice to the time that is available. As some of you may be aware, I have now been associated with the assurance and advisory side of A.F. Ferguson Company for the last 27 years, that is since I returned from England. Alhamdulillah, even then and still Ferguson's continues to be, or arguably so, the largest professional accounting setup in the country, and with the quality and quantum of resources it has at its disposal, a number of its partners and managers have been serving the institute in various capacities consistently over the last many years. I am now lumbered with this onerous task of continuing with and upholding the traditions established by my worthy predecessor at the institute, that is, if you gentlemen and ladies do decide that I should be here. In my view, our institute has 2 very basic functions. One is to ensure that the right quality of people get admitted to it, and the second is that the institute members are made to adhere to high ethical and quality standards, and those found wanting are subjected to a strict disciplinary proceeding. Our institute, I believe, can with very good reasons take immense pride in the standard of integrity that governs its examination system, especially in the environment that we all operate in. And that makes the whole system even more credible if you compare it with other education institutions throughout Pakistan. However, this of course cannot be a reason to be complacent, and the councils of the future must, in my view, continue to strengthen the institute's examination system so that it remains absolutely unimpeachable at all times. Further, the quality of on-the-job training, whether it is in the professional firms or as it is being proposed in the industry, should be subjected to a very close scrutiny. However, the institute's basic functions would remain incomplete if it does not have in place a very effective system of monitoring quality and investigating wrongdoers. Of course, I am not at all advocating that the institute should indulge in any sort of witch hunting. However, the institute should, without any doubt, at all times demonstrate to its stakeholders, and there are quite a few who rely on what we are doing, that it can effectively regulate its members, and this process should in itself be a deterrence for all of us. I believe that it is this demonstration of an unimpeachable examination system and effective control over self-regulation which would enable the institute to deal with its stakeholders, especially the other regulators such as the State Bank of Pakistan and the SCCP, on an equal footing. And in fact, I believe from a position of strength, if we can demonstrate that our organization does keep its own house in order. My dear colleagues, I strongly believe that the sanctity of the examination system and the effectiveness of the monitoring of quality, and I have been, by the way, I have been at the receiving end of the quality process of the institute, and the investigation processes, which alhamdulillah I have not been at the receiving end, should be matters of utmost importance to each member of the council, whether the present council, the future council, and those that will come in the years to come. Now, during the course of this afternoon's proceedings, a number of very good proposals have been made by other candidates in the election. I believe that members of your forthcoming council should very carefully consider each of those proposals, which include revamping of the syllabus, addressing concerns of our members in the industry and those working overseas, and also matters relating to mutual recognition with other accountancy bodies. And the Institute Council should of course decide in the best interest of the Institute and its members. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is the public image of our profession that we should all be very mindful of. If, and as I am fond of saying, I can be a part of a team that puts into motion the development of a mindset that eventually results in the society at large referring to us chartered accountants as being synonymous with the phrase people integrity, and I leave it at integrity. Thank you very much.